Welcome back to Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy and I wanted to go over Bitcoin because crypto continues to sell off. We saw China implement very strict bans on cryptocurrency, which led to a steep sell-off. And so right now we're looking at Bitcoin over the Canadian dollar and we have just fallen off a cliff. First thing that I immediately see on this chart is a strong gap right here that in my opinion will eventually get filled to the upside, which does let me know that right now we are seeing very nice buying opportunities in Bitcoin, but are we going to see better buying opportunities is the real question. So right now we're actually just in no man's land. Intraday we actually got as low as around $36,000, which is an insane drop intraday. So overall, I believe that if Bitcoin can find a base on this 200-day SMA, that would be a very nice opportunity to be buying the dip. However, do I think Bitcoin can recover from this? Absolutely. I think of all of the coins out there, this is the gold standard. And so right now we are just seeing a very healthy correction on this specific crypto. If we go through all of our other coins here, we have vechain also getting crushed down 30%. Tested its low here intraday on its 200-day SMA. So everything's been selling off. If we look at Ripple here, Ripple hasn't dropped as much. We're down 28%, but we are still well above both our 100 and 200-day SMA. If we look at Ethereum over the Canadian dollar, same thing here. We got almost as low as our 200-day SMA, but we did recover some of those gains. And so I expect us to find some sort of bottom on these levels of support. If we're looking at Ethereum, I am looking at support here on this pattern. So you can see since our run up here in November, this little pattern has been a level of support as well as a level of resistance. You can see we had a false breakout right here. We sold off, and right now I am looking to find some support here along this level at around 3,000. I think if Ethereum holds this level of support, that would be a very strong signal to be buying the dip for the next leg up. Bring it back to Bitcoin right now. There is no clear pattern right now for Bitcoin. We have just seen a major sell-off. If we look at our volume right here, this does not look good right now, but we are starting to see gaps in our chart, and you guys know I don't like to see gaps, and so I'm just a believer in gaps do eventually get filled. So at this point, if we have a gap here at 75,000, I do think Bitcoin will eventually pass this point. I can't tell you when. It could take 2, 3, 4 years, but I do think this will eventually get filled. And so right now I do think we are a falling knife in Bitcoin, and there is no real hurry to be buying. There are crazy swings in Bitcoin until we find some sort of concrete bottom and we find a stronger pattern. I don't think Bitcoin is going to be a buy just yet. However, for traders, our RSI is oversold, and so usually at these points, if you can buy up a security, there is more room to the upside than the downside. If we look at our accumulation over distribution as well, we haven't really seen too much real selling. Like, we have still a pretty steady accumulation. Yes, we had a slight little dip right here, but overall, I think this was a major overreaction on Bitcoin, and our accumulation does say the same thing. So at this point, I am not personally opening up any long positions just yet in Bitcoin. I do think there's going to be a little more of a shakeout. We could start to see more swings up, back down, up, and back down. And so people who think that this bull run is going to continue, it definitely can, but this is a healthy correction considering that we've had this extraordinary run from about 10,000 all the way up to about 80,000. So that's an extreme amount of upside, which we never really saw any major dips. And so now we are starting to see a correction. And so these are going to be very nice buying opportunities, but I do think you should be patient here on Bitcoin. Don't rush into it. And so if we kind of compare Bitcoin to the stock market seems like it's a bit ahead of Bitcoin. I mean, when the stock market was booming, crypto was kind of just in there dormant, not really doing much. But once the stock market started to sell off, we started the surge on cryptos, and now it seems like a lot of stocks are starting to find a bottom. A lot of them are trading on their 200-day SMA, and so we could be starting to see some market rotation, money coming out of crypto going back into stocks. And so I'm excited to see how both of these securities are going to play out. Overall, I have my eyes here on any sort of major dips as nice buying opportunities for Bitcoin. You guys know I love my Ethereum, and so for this price channel, this is exactly what I'm going to be waiting for. If we get as low as this 200 200-day SMA, that would be absolutely beautiful. And if this is going to be that major correction, then I do expect to see price actions at this 200-day SMA. However, if we find a bottom on our 100-day SMA, I think that is just a short-term dip and we will continue our bull run. However, once we get to this 200-day SMA, I do think that is that big correction that people are afraid of. And that would be a nice opportunity to be opening up positions in any crypto, any security. If you can get a stock, if you get a coin, if you get anything at its 200-day SMA, you are getting a better bargain for your specific security. So if you guys enjoyed this quick little update, don't forget to like. We are on the road to 10K subs, so if you made it to this point, feel free to hit that subscription button. This is Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.